The Michael Berry Show.
I owned a place called the Redneck Country Club, and we booked David Allan Coe to play. So excited. I love his music. I love his writing. He's famous for walking off stage if the air conditioning is on, because he says it's bad for his voice. If someone screams out, "You never even call me by my name," because they want to hear his most famous song, he'll walk off stage. He'll throw stuff. He'll cuss people out. He'll cut the night short. So I had warned our members at our club that, if you buy tickets to see David Allan Coe, you got to understand, if you're the reason he gets kicked out, you'll never be allowed back in again. So I had everybody prepared with an email to every member of the club. Then I got on stage before he went out, and I said, all right, guys, you should have received an email, but in case some of you are with a person who got the email and they haven't told you about it, you are not to call out and request songs. This is David Allan Coe's show, not yours. And he can be difficult. And I want him to finish the event. Now, on the weekend before that event, he had walked off after one song or two because something had upset him. I don't remember what. He's volatile. So, we have the event. I'm on pins and needles, tenterhooks the whole time. The event goes off. He leaves. And he's back in the green room. Except the green room, because we haven't opened inside, we only have the outdoor side of the venue, is just an area under construction with an old glider recliner sitting there for two people. And his manager comes to get me. "You're the owner?" "Yes, I am. Mr. Coe would like to talk to you." I said, "Oh, Lord." So I start walking back, and I figure he's going to cuss me out. The man's served serious time in prison, and, he's legendary for his temper tantrums and for being violent. And so my brother and my best friend both think they're serving as my security. They're following behind me. And I turn back because I'm pretty sure he's going to cuss me out over something. And I don't mind being cussed out if nobody else sees it. I don't even need to tell anybody it happened. So I turned back and kind of pushed them with my hands like, "Hey, guys, y'all, don't follow me. I don't want you near me." And so they stop, but little do I know they still followed me. So I walk in, and he's sitting there, and he makes eye contact with me, and he pats the seat beside him to sit down beside him. So I do. And he turns, and he stares at me. Well, I know what this is. It's a power play. My move. He wants to see what I'm going to say. I had not prepared for this. I was there to react to what he says. He doesn't say a word. He hasn't said a word yet. He has patted the seat beside him to sit down beside him. So we're both facing forward, and he swivels his head to look at me. And I swivel my head to look at him. And he pauses. And he kind of gives a half shrug, like, "What are you going to say?" "Well, hell, you invited me back here. I don't know what I'm going to say." Well, what I do know, having done my research, is he doesn't want me to bring up the song, "You Never Even Call Me By My Name." He's played that song so many thousand times, he don't want to play it again. He don't want to talk about it. Well, I'm a fan of the deep work and writings of David Allan Coe, and I said, "Your version of Pledging My Love and your tribute to Johnny Ace moves me to tears. That's what we just played for you. What Ramon just played right there. It's Johnny Ace's birthday while we're doing this. 96. He would have been 96 today." And he looks at me, squints his eyes, and he puts his index finger in my chest, and he said, "You're a real fan. People call out to me, 'You never even call me by my name.' That's probably the only song you know. But you are a real fan." Because that's the first thing that came to my mind. I hadn't prepared for this. I hadn't prepared to meet him. I was just glad he came and didn't cuss anybody out or shoot the place up. And he finished his show. that moment was so powerful to him. When he was he grew up in correctional institutes. He was a juvenile delinquent. And one of the guards took pity on him when Johnny Ace had died suddenly and told him. And his favorite song by Johnny Ace was Pledging My Love. And he had always wanted to perform that on stage as a tribute to Johnny Ace. But he was never able to. And one time, live in concert, he did it. And he told that story. It's taken all these years for me to be able to pay tribute. Well, Johnny Ace had died. He was 25 years old. He had been touring for a year, and he was performing in Houston at the City Auditorium on Christmas Day, 1954. And there was a break between sets, and he was playing around with a .32 caliber revolver. And his band members said he would do this often. Johnny Ace had shot to the top. He'd only been famous for about a year, but boy, he was famous. He was big. His band members said as they were driving along, they didn't have a tour bus at that point. They'd drive along in the car, he would shoot road signs out the window. He was playing with this gun. A lot of people have claimed that he was playing Russian roulette with the pistol, and that's how he ended up dying. But his bass player, Curtis Tillman, was in the room right next to him when it happened, and he says, quote, "I'll tell you exactly what happened. Johnny Ace had been drinking, and he had this little pistol he was waving around the table. And somebody said, 'Be careful with that thing.' And he said, 'It's okay. This gun's not loaded. See?' And he pointed at himself with a smile on his face, pulled the trigger. Sad, sad thing. Big Mama ran out of the dressing room. He's talking about Big Mama Thornton, because she was on tour with him, yelling, 'Johnny Ace just killed himself.'" Well, to a young, impressionable David Allan Coe who loved that song, that moment stuck with him, and he sang about it on stage. And isn't it interesting, no matter how big you get, no matter how rich, no matter how famous, you can still take yourself back to that moment when you were a fan of another person and their music or their art or their acting or their writing or their pitching or their shooting.
You've got the Michael Berry Show.